morning students. So in this video we will study about the cell organelles. So these cell organelles, these are basically subcellular structures. These are subcellular structures which are present in cytoplasm. So in cell organelles we will first start the endomembrane system. What is this endomembrane system? This endomembrane system, it consists of some membrane bounded organelles which functions in close proximity to each other, or which functions in close or relation to each other. So this endomembrane system, it usually consists of the endoplasmic reticulum, it consists of the Golgi complex, the lysosomes and vacuoles. So first we will start with endoplasmic reticulum. So this endoplasmic reticulum, that is ER, it was independently discovered. It was independently discovered by two scientists, that is Porter and Thomson. Porter and Thomson in 1945. So the two scientists, that is Porter and Thomson, they independently discovered the endoplasmic reticulum, and this name, that is endoplasmic reticulum, it was given by Porter in 1953. So this endoplasmic reticulum, it was discovered by Porter and Thomson independently in 1945, and the name endoplasmic reticulum was given by Porter. Now what is this endoplasmic reticulum? So basically this endoplasmic reticulum, it is a three-dimensional, complicated interconnected system of membrane-lined channels. So this endoplasmic reticulum, it is a three-dimensional complicated interconnected system of membrane-lined channels which runs through cytoplasm. Now at certain places this endoplasmic reticulum, it is connected. At certain places this endoplasmic reticulum, it is connected to nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope, and at other places it is connected to plasma membrane, or even you can say the plasmolemma. So in the cytoplasm, this endoplasmic reticulum, it is found connected to nuclear envelope, and it is also found connected to plasma membrane. Further, this endoplasmic reticulum, it divides the intracellular space into two compartments. So ER divides the intracellular space into two compartments. The one is known as lumen and the other is known as extralumen. Lumen is inside part of endoplasmic reticulum. This is inside part of, inner part of endoplasmic reticulum, whereas extralumen is rest of cytoplasm. Outside the endoplasmic reticulum. Now we will study about the types of endoplasmic. So this endoplasmic reticulum, it is of two different types, that is SER. The SER is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, whereas the second is RER. The RER is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now this smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it have smooth membranes. due to absence of ribosomes on their surface. So smooth endoplasmic reticulum have smooth membranes due to absence of ribosomes on their surface. So these endoplasmic reticulums are also known as agranular endoplasmic reticulum. Agranular endoplasmic reticulum. Whereas the RER, they have rough appearance or rough membranes because they contains ribosomes on their surface. So RER have rough membrane due to presence of ribosomes on their surface, and these rough endoplasmic reticulum, they are also known as granular endoplasmic reticulum. Now this SER, that is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it is found in cells. So they are found in cells which are engaged in storage of glycogen, fats and lipids and even stenols. And these RER, they are engaged in usually protein synthesis or lipid synthesis. So RER, its main function is protein synthesis. Why? Because they contain the ribosome on their surface, and these ribosomes are the factories of proteins. Further, these smooth endoplasmic reticulum, they are usually made up of vesicles and cisternae. So the main components of smooth endoplasmic reticulum is vesicles and cisternae, whereas this RER, it consists of vesicles and few tubules. Now come to the structure of endoplasmic reticulum. So this endoplasmic reticulum, it usually consists of membrane lined channels or spaces, and these membrane lined channels or spaces, they contains a fluid inside them. That fluid is known as endoplasmic matrix. Now this endoplasmic reticulum, their membrane is near about, the membrane of endoplasmic reticulum is near about 50 to 60 angstrom in thickness, and this endoplasmic reticulum, it consists of three different components, that is cisternae, the vesicles and the tubules. We will study each of them in the details with the structure. So our first is cisternae. Now what are these cisternae? So usually these cisternae are elongated sac-like structures which are present in stacked form. Stacked means they are present one on the other. They are present in stacked form and are interconnected with each other. Further, they are present parallel to each other. So these cisterns, they are elongated sac-like structures. They are present stacked form and they are interconnected and they are present parallel to each other. Now the diameter of these cisternae or the length of these cisternae, it varies from 40 to 50 nanometer. So these cisternae, they are like structures. These are elongated sac-like structures like this, which are present in parallel to each other. So it is the structure of cisternae, and on the surface of these, the ribosomes are present. On the surface of cisternae, the ribosomes are present. The second component of this endoplasmic reticulum are vesicles, and these vesicles, they are oval or round shaped structures. So vesicles are oval or round shaped structures, and their diameter varies from 25 to 500 micrometer. So their diameter is near about 25 to 500 micrometer, and these vesicles remains isolated in cytoplasm. So they are also known as microsomes. So they are oval or round shaped bodies like this, containing the ribosomes on their surface. So these are the vesicles, which are oval or round shaped bodies with a diameter of 25 to 500 micrometer. They remain isolated in the cytoplasm, so they are known as microsomes. Now the third type of endoplasmic reticulum, or third component of endoplasmic reticulum, is tubules. So this endoplasmic reticulum, they also exist in the form of tubules, and these tubules are extensions. These are usually tube-like extensions which are either connected, they are connected to cisternae or they are connected to vesicles. So these are tube-like extensions which are connected to cisternae or vesicles, and they forms a reticular system. They forms a reticular system. Their diameter varies from 50 to 100 micrometer. So these tubules are the tube-like extensions which are connected either to cisternae or to vesicles, and to form a reticulate system, their diameter varies from 50 to 100 micrometer. Further, these tubules, they can be regular or irregular, or they can be branched or unbranched. So these tubules, they are present in like this form. They are the like this. So these are the ribosomes present on their surface, and they can be branched or unbranched. They can be regular or irregular. Their diameter is 50 to 100 micrometer. They form a reticulate system, and these are tube-like extensions connected to cisternae or vesicles. Now come to the functions of endoplasmic reticulum. So usually this endoplasmic reticulum, it is responsible for quick intracellular transport. Secondly, it results in formation of vacuoles, that means it gives rise to vacuoles. Third, this endoplasmic reticulum, it is responsible for controlling the movement of material between two adjacent protoplast or protoplasm. And fourth, this endoplasmic reticulum, it is responsible for the synthesis of proteins and lipids. And further, this endoplasmic reticulum, it provides large surface area inside the cell cytoplasm for the metabolic activities of a cell. Now we'll study the next cell organelle, that is Golgi complex. This Golgi complex, it is also known as Golgi bodies, or it is also known as Golgi apparatus. So this Golgi complex, it was discovered by Camillo Golgi in 1898, and it is a complex cytoplasmic structure. This Golgi complex, it is a complex cytoplasmic structure which consists of smooth membraned sacules, that is, or cisternae you can say, and tube-like or sac-like tubules with vesicles or vacuoles. So this Golgi complex, it is discovered by Camillo Golgi in 1898, and it is usually a complex cytoplasmic structure which consists of smooth membraned sacules or cisternae and tube-like or sac-like tubules with vesicles and vacuoles. Further, this Golgi complex inside cell, it is responsible for membrane transformation. It is responsible for secretion, and it is responsible for production of complex biochemicals. So these are the main functions of these Golgi complex, that is, it is responsible for membrane transformation, it is responsible for secretion, and for the production of some complex biochemicals. Now this Golgi complex, it is surrounded by, inside cytoplasm, it is surrounded by organelle free cytoplasm. So this Golgi complex inside cytoplasm, it is surrounded by organelle free cytoplasm, which is known as Golgi ground substance, or it is also known as the zone of exclusion. Further, these Golgi complex, they are absent or they are not found in prokaryotic cells. They are not found in human RBC or RBC cells. They are absent in sieve tubes. They are absent in sperm cells. Further, they are absent in bryophytes and pteridophytes. So in all these Golgi complex, they are absent in the cells of all these organisms. Now come to the structure of this Golgi complex. So usually the shape and size of Golgi complex, it varies and it depends on the physiological state of a cell. Usually a Golgi complex, it consists of cisternae, the tubules, vesicles and vacuoles. So these cisternae, these are present in 4 to 8 number, and they are present in stacked form, and their diameter varies from 0.5 to 1 micron meter. So these cisternae, these are present in stacked form. Their number varies from 4 to 8 and their diameter varies from 0.5 to 1 micron meter. Now the second is tubules. These tubules are present towards M phase. Tubules are present towards maturing phase or towards M phase, whereas cisternae is present towards cis phase or C phase of Golgi complex. So tubules are long tube-like structures, and these tube-like structures, at the end of these tubules are present some round or oval shaped structures which are known as vesicles or vacuoles, and the length of these tubules varies from 30 to 50 micrometer, whereas the diameter of these vesicles or vacuoles, it varies from 20 to 80 micrometer. Now come to the functions of Golgi complex. So the first function of this Golgi complex, that it plays important roles in secretion, as it has secretory granules and secretory vesicles or vacuoles. Secondly, it helps, these Golgi complex, they helps in protein synthesis. So Golgi complex, they helps in protein synthesis. Thirdly, this Golgi complex, they also plays important roles in the synthesis of polysaccharides. The synthesis of polysaccharides. Fourth, this Golgi complex, they helps in the metabolism of sulfate, and that process of metabolism of sulfate, it is known as sulfation. Fifth, this Golgi complex, because they contain vesicles or vacuoles, so they are responsible for lipid packaging and secretion. And next, this Golgi complex, they are also responsible for the formation of lysosomes. Now come to the next cell organelle, that is lysosomes. So these lysosomes, they are discovered by Christian de Duve, and these lysosomes, they are small vesicles which are bounded by a single membrane in our cell cytoplasm. Usually they contain the hydrolytic enzymes like proteases, the nucleases, the lipases, the carbohydrates, which are responsible for the digestion of the proteins, the DNA, RNA, lipids and carbohydrates. Further, these hydrolytic enzymes, they are also known as acid hydrolases. They are known as acid hydrolases because all these enzymes, they functions at acidic pH or in acidic medium. Further, these lysosomes, they are also known as suicidal bags of a cell. Why they are known as suicidal bags of a cell? Because they contains digestive enzymes in them, and these digestive enzymes are separated from other components of a cell with the help of a single and thin membrane which surrounds the lysosomes. And if this thin membrane have to burst, or it undergoes or it gets burst up, then all these digestive enzymes are released in the cell cytoplasm, and then these enzymes causes the lysis of that cell, that is the death of that cell. And because these lysosomes can cause death of that cell, that's why they are known as suicidal bags of a cell. Now further, generally these lysosomes, they are round in shape, but they may be irregular, and their diameter varies from 0.2 to 0.8 micrometer. So they are either round shaped or they may be irregular shaped from outer side only, and their diameter varies from 0.2 to 0.8 micrometer. Usually these lysosomes, they are absent in RBCs. And these lysosomes, they are formed by gill system. Gill system is a system of joint activity of the endosomes, the endoplasmic reticulum and the Golgi complex. So all these three cell organelles, they jointly carry out the formation of this lysosomes, which is known as gill system. Now these lysosomes, they are basically four different types. That is primary lysosomes, which are newly formed lysosomes in our cells, and they fuses with endosomes to become fully functional. Further, the secondary lysosomes, which are also known as the digestive vacuoles, and they are formed by the fusion of lysosomes with food containing phagosomes. And the third type of lysosomes are known as the tertiary lysosomes or residual bodies, and they these tertiary lysosomes contains the indigestible food material which is not digestive. The fourth type of lysosomes are autophagic vacuoles. And these autophagic vacuoles, they are formed by the fusion of several primary lysosomes. Now come to the functions of lysosome. So these lysosome, because they contains the digestive enzymes, so they are responsible for intracellular and extracellular digestion in our body. Secondly, they helps in defense mechanism to our body. If any pathogen such as bacteria or any pathogen viruses, they enters in our body cells, then these lysosomes, they engulf these bacteria or viruses, and then they causes the lysis of these pathogens. So they helps in defense mechanism. Third, they helps in formation of thyroxine in our body, and fourth, they also helps in the cell division process. Now we will study about vacuoles. Now come to the next cell organelle, that is vacuoles. So these vacuoles, they are non-cytoplasmic areas which are present in cytoplasm. They are formed from endoplasmic reticulum, and these vacuoles, they are separated from the cytoplasm by a specific membrane. Now further, these vacuoles, they are of four different types, that is sap vacuoles. These sap vacuoles are filled by a fluid, and that fluid is known as sap, and they are separated from cytoplasm by a specific semi-permeable membrane. That semi-permeable membrane is known as tonoplast. This tonoplast, it separates the sap vacuoles from the cytoplasm. Now further, the second type of vacuoles, they are known as contractile vacuoles, and these are usually found in protist, they are found in amoeba, they are found in certain alga. These contractile vacuoles, they contains highly extensible membrane, and these vacuoles are usually helps in the process of osmoregulation. The third type of vacuoles, which are known as food vacuoles, and these food vacuoles are found in protozoans. They are found in protozoan protists, they are found in lower animals, and they are found in phagocytic animals such as amoeba. Further, these food vacuoles, they are formed by the fusion of phagosomes and lysosomes. Because they are formed by the fusion of phagosomes and lysosomes, that's why they contain the digestive enzymes, and these digestive enzymes digest these foods present in the vacuole. The fourth type of vacuoles are air vacuoles, and these air vacuoles are usually known as pseudo vacuoles, or they are also known as gas vacuoles. Usually these air vacuoles, they are found in prokaryotes, and in case of prokaryotes, they store food and they provide buoyancy. So these are the air vacuoles. These air vacuoles, they are responsible for storing of food and for providing buoyancy. So this is about the vacuoles, and all these the cell organelles of endomembrane system. So in this video we have completed the endomembrane system, that is the 4 cell organelles, including your endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, the vacuoles and lysosomes.